Hey everyone, and welcome to a mini deep dive all about Slim developers. We're going to tackle your biggest questions about these specialists, whether you're getting a project ready or just kind of, exploring the tech world. Huge shout out to theperfectdeveloper.com for giving us some great info for this deep dive. By the way, you want to find the perfect developer without the headache. Head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and answer the 5 questions. Super easy, but okay. So first, what exactly is Slim developer?
Well, you know how PHP developers are like skilled carpenters? Slim developers are kind of like the specialists. They're amazing at building those sleek, modern structures, but they use like minimal materials. They use the Slim framework, which is a lightweight PHP micro framework, and it's perfect for, creating those really streamlined web applications and
So it's
APIs.
all about like efficiency and speed.
Exactly. Slim developers are masters of minimalism when it comes to code. This means faster development and often lower costs for you. They're really sought after for projects like RESTful APIs. You know, the stuff that powers your favorite apps behind the scenes. Or single-page applications for websites that give you a really smooth user experience.
Interesting. So where do I even find these like slim developer ninjas?
That's where a resource like theperfectdeveloper.com can be a lifesaver. They can help you find the best of the best. Don't just limit yourself to local searches, though. Think about remote or even freelance developers. And specialized recruiters or agencies can also help you tap into that niche pool of slim experts.
Okay, cool. So let's say I found my ideal slim developer. How do I make sure they stick around?
Yeah, retention is key, right? For full-timers, it's all about that competitive compensation, keeping them engaged with exciting projects, and making sure they have chances to grow professionally.
Makes sense. What about freelancers though? How do I keep them happy and coming back for more?
Building those strong, long-term relationships is super important. Clear communication, respecting their expertise, and offering consistent work whenever you can.
So it's all about making it a win-win for everyone.
Absolutely. And don't forget, theperfectdeveloper.com can guide you every step of the way.
Totally.
Now let's talk money salary. It's a big one, right? Like
Yeah.
any tech job, it depends, on their experience, where they are, and if they're full-time or freelance. Theperfectdeveloper.com can give you a really good idea of what's normal in different
So
places.
if I know like what the going rate is, it'll help when I'm, trying to get the best deal.
Oh, absolutely. Having those salary insights is huge for negotiations.
Yep.
You can make smart decisions and make sure you're offering a competitive package to attract the best people out there.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Now, what about the technical stuff? I'm not a developer myself, so how do I even know if a slim developer has got the right skills?
You don't have to be a coding genius to hire one. Just focus on understanding the main things Slim Framework does. Look for experience with routing. That's how Slim handles requests coming in. And then middleware for adding extra stuff like, authentication and dependency injection to keep the code nice and organized. ThePerfectDeveloper.com actually makes this whole process way easier.
So even if I'm not a tech expert, I can still make good hiring decisions.
Exactly. And don't forget about those soft skills. Look for developers who are great problem solvers, who can communicate well, and who really care about building efficient and elegant
This
solutions.
is so helpful.
Yeah,
I'm feeling way more confident about finding the right slim developer now.
awesome. I'm glad to hear that. And remember, resources like theperfectdeveloper.com are there to make everything super smooth.
Speaking of smooth, I'm curious, are there any common mistakes people make when they're hiring a slim developer?
Great question. One of the biggest traps is not being clear about the project right from the start. You know what needs to be done, what the goals are. If you're not clear on that stuff, it can cause all sorts of misunderstandings and delays.
So being crystal clear up front, that's key.
Absolutely. Another thing is to really vet those potential candidates. Don't just rely on their resumes. Take a look at their past work, check their references, and maybe even give them a little technical test to see what they can really do.
Makes sense. It's like doing your homework before you make a big decision.
Exactly. Think of it this way: putting the time and effort into finding the perfect slim developer is an investment in your project's success.
True. It sounds like the perfectdeveloper.com can really streamline this whole process.
Oh, they totally can.
Yeah.
Their 5 questions tool is amazing for finding the best developers out there.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here. What would you say are the top 3 takeaways for our listeners? The people who are looking to hire slim developers.
Okay, so number one, understand why Slim is so great. It's efficient, fast, and often more affordable than other options, which makes it perfect for certain projects. Number two, use resources like theperfectdeveloper.com. They'll help you find and vet qualified candidates. And number three, be super clear about what you need for your project and make communication and collaboration a priority throughout the whole development process.
Wow, those are some golden nuggets of advice. So for anyone listening who wants to learn more and maybe find their perfect Slim developer, where should they go?
Head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and try the 5 questions. It's seriously the easiest way to connect with top-notch developers for your project.
Awesome advice. And hey, whether you're building the next big app or just exploring the world of web development, knowing about Slim and the developers who use it can be a huge advantage.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's been great talking Slim with you.
Same here. And honestly, I'm really impressed with how Slim is,
Mm.
simple but powerful at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, the framework's minimalist approach. It actually helps developers be more creative and efficient with their solutions.
That's like they say, right? Constraints can actually make you more creative. And speaking of creativity, I wanted to touch on something. Before we wrap up, we've been talking a lot about the technical side of Slim, but what about the bigger picture?
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm wondering if those Slim principles, you
Hmm.
know, the efficiency, the minimalism that focus on the core stuff, could we apply that to like other areas of life too?
That's a really interesting question. I definitely think there's a connection there. We live in a world with so many distractions and information overload. Maybe that Slim philosophy can give us a fresh perspective.
Exactly. Maybe it's about finding that balance between keeping things simple and making sure they actually work,
Mhm.
whether we're building a website or a business or just planning our day.
I love that.
Yeah.
Stripping away the unnecessary stuff, focusing on what really matters, and finding those elegant solutions within those constraints is a powerful idea.
And who knows, maybe embracing that Slim mindset can help us be more creative and innovative no matter what we're doing.
It's definitely something to think about, and I think our listeners should explore those connections and see where they lead.
For sure. And remember, if you're ready to start your own Slim development journey and find the perfect developer for your project, head over to theperfectdeveloper.com and answer the 5 questions. It's the easiest way to connect with the best developers out there. Until next time, happy coding.